Today I'm going to just take you to some different world, that is offshore. Like we'll go in the sea, how this offshore structure will stand, and we'll give primary importance why we use steel. Right? And then I'll start with the suction pile, why we use suction pile instead of conventional pile. So the basic topic which I cover, I'll just brief you on what are the offshore structures, then what are the steel we use for offshore, which has different standards other than what we use for the land. And then we start with the suction pile, and I have a case study which we executed on one of the project. Thank you. So just to quickly brief you on what are the offshore structures. So what are offshore structures is nothing but it doesn't have access directly through land like what we have for the onshore structures. We have to access either by boat or by helicopters, and it has to come required to stay in position all the time, like 24/7 to its design service life. So offshore platform can be a service life of 30 years or 20 years based on the capacity of reservoir. What are the function of the offshore platform? It is for drilling, then for production of oil and gas, and then for storage. I'll just give you quickly what are the different types of offshore structures. We have fixed offshore structure and one is a floating offshore structures. So in fixed we have a fixed jacket structure, then gravity based, which is using concrete. Now it is obsolete, nobody is using the concrete. Then a TLP, that is tension leg platform. And for floating, we have spar and FPSO. So if you consider based on the water depth, this is that water depth and the brown part is the seabed. So the first two structures are your fixed structures, which will require a foundation that is called as piling, which will be embedded below this brown, below the seabed. Maybe if you go with a conventional pile, if the water depth is around 80 meters or something, in Indian water, the penetration may be up to 100 meters below the seabed. So this is how that facility looks. As we go with a deeper water depth, then we have floating structures coming in. Now, why we are using steel in offshore? Because steel, I think most of our speaker and our panel member are already given that why we use steel. It has an advantage over the concrete due to its light weight. In offshore, the weight is having much importance. If your weight increases, then your installation cost and fabrication cost increases. So one critical aspect I'll just explain that is the durability. Your structure has to stand in the offshore water for a longer period, like 20 years or 30 years. So there is chances that your steel will corrode. So for offshore, what we do, we apply sacrificial anode. We place those sacrificial anode. In pictorial, I can just show you, like, if you see this small part, which is a white, this is a sacrificial anode, which is directly welded to the offshore structure. So it is a zinc alloy, zinc aluminum alloy. If you remember the periodic table, zinc and aluminum are ahead of iron. So they will attract the corrosion part, they will corrode, and they will protect the offshore structure. So they are called as a sacrificial anode. Other properties, I think most of our speakers have said, based on durability, based on weldability, and toughness. Now for offshore, what we normally use a rolled section, that is I-beam channel, what we normally use for the land, tubes, seamless, and they are rolled form plate. What is seamless and rolled form plates? Like if you go with a fabricator, up to 16 or 18 inch, they can provide a seamless pipe. Like for our home usage, it is half an inch or 1.5 inch maximum. But here we are dealing with up to 16 inch, they can provide a seamless. And after 16 inch, then we have to fabricate with the plates. The plates are rolled and they are seam welded. Now, based on a codal provision, that is API RP2A, we have 3 groups, 1 to 3. Normally, first group we use for tertiary steel, which is having less strength, and we use extra high grade steel so that for the offshore, you can optimize and reduce the weight. There are similar testing requirements which we need to certify based on the codal provisions. Now, having given say introduction to offshore, now I'll just show you that what is a suction pile. Suction pile is a new form of say foundation below the seabed, which is used for anchoring. Instead of conventional deep pile, like what I explained, 100 meter we have to go. If you are not able to go 100 meter, then what is the solution? Then we have to go with a suction pile. I'll give you the detail, like where we use this suction pile. And we select steel because steel is very good for its lightweight. Then it is easy to fabricate, and it can be handled. It can handle the suction pressure. Like where we use this suction pile are used where the top layer are soft soil, like a mud, or low strength soil is there in the top layers, and relatively dense in the bottom layers. Like if you need to go up to 100 meter, you have to drive the pile. So if there is a chances that at the bottom there are very strong layer wherein driving make it comfortable. So you cannot use a conventional pile. Then you have to go with a suction pile. Now as a thumb rule, like if you see the penetration versus the diameter, if you go with a conventional, it is greater than 30 meter. That is the leftmost point. And if you use the suction pile, it is between 1 to 8 penetration to the diameter of the pile. And there are skirted foundation. These are for temporary foundation for installation purpose. There is a small video.
Mr. Nasir, we have to be quick.
See, now the suction pressure is applied on all the piles, then the structure gets bottom. What happens? You are sucking the water from the soil.
So we have to be quick because combined session is coming up.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this is how that suction pile installation happens. Now what are the advantage? Since as you see that you don't require any time for the installation, it is a single day operation, and based on the size of the pile, it has a large resistance as compared to conventional pile. And one of the sustainability aspect is that this platform can be easily removed and it can be towed to other location with similar loading and similar water depths. Now we did one project in the Cameroon offshore for one of our clients. So there the suction pile was used mainly because of the following reason. The project has say a top side, which is this front part, the jacket, and then the foundation, which is the suction pile. So the weight characteristics are given.
Sir, please wind up quickly.
Sorry?
Please wind it up quickly.
Okay. The pile size, if you use the conventional, it was very huge. So it was uneconomical. So we used the suction pile. And when offshore platform are getting installed, you need temporary foundation for the jacket. So that mud mite was also coming out to be very big. So then we chose this suction pile concept, and we did an installation study wherein we saved in 3 days by using suction piles. If you have any questions, you can ask.